Pokemon has made it their mainstay. This is going to be a fun one. We got Team Peps on the purple side, Poulet on the orange side. Kello, let's get into game number one.
Yes, we are heading on in. We can see that Mimikyu is going to be heading into that central area for Team Peps. Meanwhile, Mew and Magikarp are making their way up in that top path. And I guess that's the thing. It's going to be a while until we end up getting that Gyarados, let alone Mega Gyarados on the field. It's just a matter of securing this wild Pokemon, getting that effort gauge up and rolling.
And two great Pokemon to contend with a struggling early game Pokemon, right? Snorlax and Latias both have fantastic abilities to last hit secure, even in the early game. Will make it a little more difficult for this Mega Gyarados to arrive. However, knowing that it's a player as strong as Potato, it feels just like a matter of time in some of these situations. But already having the backup of Zonte is working out well. We're gonna have both central area Pokemon heading down to the bottom path.
Yeah, they are not delaying in terms of these squabbles down here. Almost. Oh, there we go. We do have that first knockout being that Swinub getting sent back to the Pokemon Center. Otherwise, up in the top path, just a little bit of respect. Once again, more just getting that experience and effort gauge up. But I've got to say, that's almost there at that Gyarados phase.
Yeah, unfortunately, not going to have any Swablu or Altaria left to try to steal any of that effort gauge. So Potato will be a little bit behind the mark. Likely getting it just after that 830, and wow, an exchange of knockouts. Bruv kind of getting a third party a little bit in that KO, but wow, it's KO's getting exchanged either direction. Traffic being aggressive, but you have to be careful. This is a bubble beam Psyduck, so as soon as that beam hits you, you get those little marks right on top, and those stuns can be devastating if you push while being marked with that bubble beam.
Yeah, you do not want to push any further, and they are going to play it safe and just leave it to this Piloswine along with that Mewtwo to finish off these birds. Otherwise, we do have Marv back in action down here, but they can't really push any further because we have that Mega Mewtwo on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slow fight down here. Mega Mewtwo Y being really the only damage dealer on paper. Otherwise, a lot of defender and supports, but Mimikyu getting into the mix is going to change that completely. Even that Piloswine, a very defensive Pokemon, will fall. And with that Mimikyu in combination again with that Bubble Beam, I'm already liking what I'm seeing so far from Team Peps. Waterfall, Gyarados get into the mix. No Mega Evolution yet, but they do not need it. That will be a huge Dragon Breath KO with that big bite boosted right after.
Oh, but look at this. We have a two-person rotation from this bottom path to go and get these KOs, get in these dunks, and now they're going to leave that goal on 20 points. Meanwhile, we do have that Regidrago that is in that central path. Hasn't been touched just yet.
Yeah, both these teams being pretty patient about it. Team Peps wants to make sure that they're dominating this pathing phase, and they're doing just that so far, right? 142 to a donut on the other side. Team Peps has dominated this early game. They want to make sure these first wave of objectives also fall in their favor. Klaus is going to be starting that Regieleki immediately, and the Mega Gyarados for Team Peps will be in pole position to actually hit the top side Regi as well. And that is an all-time speed record for a Regieleki KO, I swear. We're early in the league. I can count it as a record.
I was going to say, between the two of them, being able to do that within 10 seconds is actually wild. But we do have that Regieleki crashing into that goal and breaking it. So he's going to clear up some space. A great serve from that Mew to try and escape the Absol, and Absol ended up missing their Unite as well. But they still walk away with 2 KOs.
Oh, that's crap. I mean, after Zonte puts in some absolutely acrobatic work on the Mew, a coaching to dodge one move and a eject button to dodge another, I really didn't think they were going to be able to get away. But Potato is there for their revenge. The Gyarados has mega evolved and is just dealing a devastating amount of damage. A KO streak of 2, and has just enough in its Mega Gauge to roam all the way to the top side of the map. Will fall out of that Mega Evolution form, but it won't take Potato too long to charge that back up.
As if Gyarados wasn't scary enough. You just give it a Mega Form and it's just double scary. Otherwise, we do have those birds spawning on up, getting shredded on down, trying to back away as a Snorlax with this block. And I believe they ended up using their eject button there, back and safe onto pad at full HP. But we have a Regice on the field. Yeah,
right now, Poulet in a tough position to try to contend this, especially with Marv putting out some very early mean looks. I love that target priority on top of that Piloswine. Of course, a Pokemon that does have access to crowd control will be irrelevant if it's stuck in that mean look outside of the range of the team fight. So very impressive work for the defender core, and Potato going to be dunking in 40 for a massive goal zone break. Jamlu Poulet was able to break their own scoring deficit, though, as they get 11 points into the bottom side. Absol gets the points and barely dodges the Shadow Sneak from that Mimikyu.
11 points to 206. That is a massive difference going into this halfway mark, especially considering both of their tier 1 pads have been knocked on out. So we can see on that mini map that they are collaborating down there in that bottom path for that second Regieleki spawn. And well, it's just a matter of whether they can work together to try and put the pressure on.
God, Peps not feeling too much pressure. Maybe they should be, though, is that Regieleki is eradicated by this French squad. Incredible burn timer, but now they are back for the fight. They did not have their whole roster, a lot of Pokemon in their own central area trying to earn some Unite moves back, but they are not going to waste any time on the refight. 2 KO streak for Potato. Make that a triple. They do have the Mamoswine right in front of them as they're trying to dump 50. That Goal Zone healing in the Absol jumping back into the fight might make this a little tougher. Ice Fang holding Potato yet again, but Zante being an aggressive, supportive Mew with his serve forward and a coaching back. Been so impressed with Zante's movement on this Mew so far this game.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive, especially when paired up with Marv on that Umbreon, who has that wish build. So just being there to heal up the squad whenever they're needed is so impressive. Otherwise, we do have those extra berries because of that Kyogre map as well to go and replenish that HP. But so far, we do have some birds. Once again, it's just a matter of, I feel like it's a bit of a calm before the next storm that's about to arrive, being that in the top half of the third objective.
Yeah, it feels like we got a real short wait time between storms with these two teams, though. Poulet is able to find the Psyduck. Bruv hiding away just for a little bit of information in that tall grass does get exposed. So not too much experience sliding the direction, seeing as the Psyduck is only at level 10. But still, that does open up a little bit of space, and Poulet does have the information that Team Peps was on the bottom side rotate, allows them to get out of danger and already start forcing damage on this top side Reggie, as Registeel is getting real low.
Yeah, they're getting shredded on down. Marv trying to create a distraction, but it does end up being the Mamoswine to lock that down for the squad. Otherwise, the fighting isn't going to stop. Traffy's diking in, but they're actually going to back on out, back to safety behind the rest of their members.
Interesting. I don't think I've been able to call it out so far this game, but this is a missed ball Latias. We did see that little AoE effect damage just a moment ago on that top side. You can try to see Latias reduce the incoming damage from some of these more melee-focused attackers. If they can get the Mimikyu and that Gyarados all in one of those area of effects, it could be sometimes team fight changing. But still, this Poulet team is going to be fighting from behind. Points deficit is hurting. Also, experience deficit outside of the Absol, not in the best situation. But that is the silver lining for them. This Traffy Absol at level 14. With that high critical hit rate, it can shred through even the toughest of opponents.
I guess this is the thing with Kyogre. There's so much potential in terms of setting up an ambush, but look at this. Poulet are nowhere inside. Oh, wait, we do have a Mamoswine that doesn't get poked out by Zante's beam. It's just a matter of who can get the engage. Qatar is going in with their flail, trying to target, but get pushed back by that light screen.
Yeah, it does retreat back. They get a decent amount of healing, already back to about half HP. That's a very early Umbreon Unite move, not stealing a ton of HP. Class's Mimikyu Unite move is actually shut down as it's popped off of the Mamoswine, but it does get the KO back the other way. Potato 1v3 right now, but they're mega evolved and looking for more. And that's all down. Flaylax trying to get in the peel, but the Gyarados is already inside the house in the back line, and they're all falling. KO streak at 3, make it 4, and all there is to do is try to find this Kyogre. As Mamoswine, not the quickest defender of the bunch, is not going to be able to rotate towards this main objective in time.
Potato really barged their way through that house and just wreaked absolute havoc to Poulet. Now that they have that Kyogre buff, these goals are indispensable, so can't really do much defending. It's just a matter of backing away. But even then, Team Peps, they have a massive lead at 326 to 60, so they don't need to continue pushing, but looks like they're not going to stop.
Yeah, this is sometimes the power of this Kyogre buff. You might not be getting any extra damage damage, but it does allow you to contend against some of these enemy Pokemon and walk away from it scot-free thanks to the healing effect that Kyogre will give you access to. Even another KO being picked up by Mew that is an enhanced boosted auto attack. This goal zone will now be under assault from a few of these Team Peps members as they want to increase this scoreline even higher. Poulet is on the back cap angle, but I just don't think they have enough points in pockets as Team Peps getting their bread up at a ton of points in. They're going to start this series 1-0.
I think it was more a matter of not ending the scoreboard with less than 100 points there for Poulet. I guess Team Peps, they continue forth, but they're like, you know what? No, we need more dunks. But